There is the age on your driver's license, and then there is the age encoded in the microscopic scars on your DNA. One counts birthdays, while the other counts cellular damage, misfolded proteins, and chronic inflammation quietly accumulating beneath the surface. Biological age testing has emerged as a new lens on human aging, promising to reveal whether your tissues are aging faster or slower than your years suggest, and what that might mean for your health span and lifespan. Disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult a healthcare professional before beginning any new supplementation or diagnostic protocol. At its core, biological age is an attempt to measure the cumulative wear and tear on cells and organ systems rather than time elapsed since birth. The Cleveland Clinic defines it as the accumulation of cellular damage over time, shaped not only by intrinsic aging but also by genes, lifestyle, and environment, all of which modulate disease risk beyond chronological age. This conceptual shift has driven a decade of intense research into molecular and physiological signatures that predict morbidity and mortality more accurately than age and years. One of the most influential advances came from Steve Horvath and colleagues, who developed epigenetic clocks based on DNA methylation patterns at selected sites across the genome. This research demonstrated that methylation-derived age can predict chronological age with remarkable accuracy and associates strongly with all-cause mortality. Later generations of clocks, such as GrimAge and PhenoAge, incorporated methylation surrogates for smoking, inflammatory markers, and mortality-associated proteins. These were shown in large cohorts to outperform chronological age for predicting time to death, cardiovascular events, and multiple age-related diseases. Epigenetic signals are only one layer of the biological map. Researchers have also built phenotypic age models that integrate routine clinical markers, such as blood pressure, fasting glucose, cholesterol, and kidney function, into algorithms that estimate biological age. These composite scores provide a functional snapshot of system-level integrity. They demonstrate that individuals with a higher biological age than expected have an elevated risk for cardiovascular disease and disability independent of their chronological age. Critically, however, these tools remain sophisticated research instruments more than routine clinical tests. A 2025 analysis emphasized that while epigenetic clocks are strongly associated with aging outcomes in large populations, commercial assays can differ in methodology and have limited transparency. Some studies show that results can vary by up to 9 years from repeat sampling of the same individual, raising questions about precision for single-person decision-making. In practice, biological age testing falls into several major categories. The first is epigenetic clocks. These assess DNA methylation patterns using blood or saliva to estimate remaining life expectancy. Second-generation clocks, like GrimAge, incorporate surrogates for lifestyle factors to predict disease events with high statistical power. The second category involves clinical biomarker and phenotypic age algorithms. These use readily available blood and vital sign markers to calculate a phenotypic age that tracks disease risk. Because they rely on established clinical labs, they are often more interpretable and directly actionable. They link elevated biological age to concrete parameters like hypertension or insulin resistance, which have established intervention pathways. For those seeking to use biological age as a tool for bio-individual optimization, we recommend a tiered framework of layers. Layer 1 is foundational habit architecture. At the base of any protocol lies the modification of well-established determinants of aging, including nutrition quality, physical activity, and sleep hygiene. Studies of epigenetic clocks show that lifestyle factors such as poor metabolic health accelerate methylation-based biological age. Regardless of formal testing, systematically improving diet quality and cardiorespiratory fitness tends to shift clinical biomarkers in a favorable direction. Layer 2 involves clinical biomarker mapping. This is the detailed assessment of modifiable clinical markers. From a protocol perspective, the aim is to normalize or optimize fasting glucose, insulin, lipid fractions, and inflammatory markers under medical supervision. Repeated measurement over time provides a tangible trajectory, because rather than chasing a single number, the goal is to compress multi-system risk into a more youthful, resilient profile. Layer 3 is molecular and epigenetic monitoring. At this stage, advanced biological age assays, such as epigenetic clocks and glycan-based immune age tests, can be layered on as optional tools for those engaged in intensive optimization. Their greatest value currently lies in longitudinal tracking, measuring baseline, implementing an intervention suite, and reassessing months or years later to observe directional shifts. Biological age testing sits at the frontier of systems medicine. While the translational gap between population-level statistics and individual decision-making remains substantial, These tools provide a powerful motivational mirror. Biological age should be viewed as one informative metric among many, useful for research, but never a substitute for comprehensive medical assessment and sustained investment in foundational health behaviors. Disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult a healthcare professional. For the complete clinical protocol summary, dosing spreadsheets, and our lab-vetted sources, visit the Longevity Logic Labs Protocol Hub linked in the description below. We update this database in real time as new clinical data and purity batches are verified. Thank you for supporting evidence-based science. Subscribe to stay updated on the latest longevity logic.